Hey, this is Dr. Green with Momenta Chiropractic, and today we're going to go over the Romanian deadlift. So we're going to go over both kettlebell and barbell RDLs because there's a little bit of a subtle nuance between the technique for both. So starting with the kettlebell RDL or Romanian deadlift, the key difference between this and a conventional deadlift is that we start in a standing position versus picking the weight up off the floor. So we're going to grab our weight, and we're going to start in that standing position, and we like this option because it helps to emphasize a hip hinge and more of a hamstring stretch than just kind of picking up the weight from the floor, which focuses more on the concentric version of the exercise. So we start in a standing position. We're going to have the feet about hip width apart, a slight bend in the knee. We're going to get a breath in to create some intra-abdominal pressure and help protect our back. And then we're going to sit the hips back without bending the knees, right? So just slight knee bend and focusing on sitting the hips back, and naturally that bell should drop right between the feet, and then we're gonna squeeze our glutes, get the breath out, and come back up. So showing it from the front, feet about hip width apart, breath in, intra-abdominal pressure. We're gonna sit the hips back. That bell should drop right between the feet, and then we're going to push the hips forward. Now, normally where we see this go wrong is either there's too much knee bend and our weight gets forward, or we round in the back and the weight gets out in front of us, and that we feel more in our back. So the key part of this is really to be able to sit the hips back, which is why we like the kettlebell for this, because it allows you to be able to sit your hips back, get the weight kind of between the knees a bit. Whereas a barbell, we're gonna get a little bit stuck. So we'll talk about that in a second here. So we use essentially the same cues for the barbell of getting that breath in and sitting the hips back. But the key here is because that bar is in the way and I can't get it past my legs, the goal is to keep it as close to my body as possible. So if I let that bar kind of float out, my weight shifts forward, my back takes over most of the work. But if I sit my hips back and keep that bar close, I can use more of my hamstrings and glutes to be able to get more of a stretch and take pressure off of my back. So with that barbell, big breath in at the top, sit the hips back, should feel a nice stretch through my hamstrings, and then drive my hips straight back forward to feel those muscles working, and I shouldn't feel my back having to work too hard here. So showing it from the front, weight stays close, big breath in, hips sit back, neck in a neutral position, so not cranked up, but chin tucked, and then being able to push the hips back forward, and that's the RDL.